One of the favorite parts of our shows is the cool coin segment. Once again, we walk around the floor and we'll talk to the dealers to find out what kind of cool coins they've brought for you, our coin television viewers.
One of the great rare coins that you might see if you come to the ANA convention is the 1787 Brasher Doubloon. This particular example that we have on display is the finest of the 7 known examples. This also has the oldest provenance of any Brasher doubloon. It has a continuous ownership history since the 1830s. It is an incredible piece, one that we are excited to be able to share with the numismatic public here at the World's Fair of Money.
Why was it struck?
At the time in colonial America, there was a hodgepodge of different currency, different coinage in circulation. They pretty much ranged from Spanish American coins to Portuguese coins to Brazilian gold coins, but there were no actual American coins at that time. There were some colonial issues struck by individuals or by the various states, but there was no federal money in existence. So this is one of the colonial American coins. It was struck by Ephraim Brasher of New York City, and it was the first gold coin struck in America.
What kind of value?
At the time it was struck, it had a value of $16. It's worth a little bit more than that today. About this particular example, around $5 million.
My partner, Deloy Hansen from Salt Lake City, Utah, is kind of an uber collector in the numismatic community. His goal set out about 3 years ago was to complete a U.S. coin circulation strike set of all U.S. coins from 1792 to present. So including the Eliasberg collection in 1964 and then adding on the additional 55 years that we've had since. So trying to, let's not say outdo Eliasberg, but to seriously compete against what he built and to extend it an extra half a century. And part of his collection is he's built many very high-end collections and series, and as part of this show we thought it would be a lot of fun to display his #1 all-time proof trade dollar set. It's all PCGS registry set. And one of my favorite coins from the set is the proof 67 1884 trade dollar. This coin, it's special to me because it was in the hands of a private collector for over a decade. It's the finest coin that's graded for that date out of only 10 pieces that were produced. And it's the colors on the coin, there's a vibrant magenta and blue. It's just a very special coin. It's the second rarest in the series, but the fact is that this coin has not been available in public hands for many years. It made it kind of fun in the chasing down on this coin and adding it to the collection.
And why were there so few trade dollars struck in the later years?
Well, the coin wasn't made for circulation in the later years. And in 1884 and 1885, there were no circulation strike pieces. So how they were produced, there's research that's been done, but it's not exactly conclusive as to how many were even struck. But there's believed to have been 10 1884s and 5 1885s produced for collectors. But again, it's one of those mysteries of the mint that you may never know the exact answer to it.
And what kind of value?
This coin it's insured for about $2 million. It's really it's the finest one for the date, and it's just a special coin. There's really no value you can put on it just by the nature of it's the only one and it's the best.
Wow, $10,000. Tell me about this note.
Okay, this note is new to the census. There's about 180 pieces known. Approximately 100 came out of the Binion's Horseshoe in Las Vegas, Nevada. Those are all New York district, all with very narrow margins. They've been trimmed down. This example is from Chicago. Possibly went through the hands of a gangster or mobster. Nobody knows, okay? Because it's unknown. This is new. It has never been recorded by serial number before. It's a lovely piece with giant margins, ideally suited for a collector. Really, really spectacular to have remained in the grade of 64. Very choice uncirculated. We're teetering on the cusp of gem. This was graded by Legacy Grading Company. They're fairly new as a corporation to the grading industry, but they're succeeding or the successor to PCGS currency. Same people, just a different label. Total confidence in the company, total confidence in their grading standards.
And it's serial number 98.
Correct. In a certain sense, that's exciting. On the other hand, I've never seen a 5-digit number. They didn't print that many of them to begin with. There was not a lot of call for $10,000 bills. This is really printed during the Great Depression and before World War II.
What kind of value?
$175,000 to $200,000.
Oh my God, I'll take it.
Okay, there you go. Your check is good.
Cool.
Well, David, this coin is, it's a French franc, but it's a quadruple pied-fort. So it's 4 times as thick, and it's massive. It weighs 56.45 grams. And this is before the French écus, so it predates when they were striking proper crowns, and it's really the only way to get a proper silver crown of this ruler, and it's 4 times the thickness. So it's pretty cool.
How scarce is it? How many?
Well, you see these in European auctions maybe once or twice a year. That's about it.
And what kind of value?
This one we figure is worth about $10,000. So this is a 4 Excelente of Ferdinand and Isabella, which is a rare denomination, and it's struck at Segovia Mint. Normally you see 2 Excelentes from Seville. That's the type that is most frequently encountered, and this one's actually very early because it has all Gothic legends, no Latin legends at all. And this is the type of coinage that would have financed the voyage to America when Christopher Columbus approached Ferdinand and Isabella for finances to make these trips.
And what kind of value?
On this one, we figure it's worth about $35,000. So this is a Roman aureus of Septimius Severus, but what's interesting about it, it's what they call a dynastic aureus. He struck a whole series of coins with his family on them, some with him and his wife, some with him and his children, and this one has a portrait of Septimius Severus facing left on one side, and then you flip it over and it's his wife, Julia Domina, on the back, so it's a dual portrait.
I'm sure that helped with his relations. So what kind of value for the aureus?
We figure it's probably worth around $95,000 in this condition because it's a choice mint state 5555 fine style. It's exquisite quality for what it is.
How important is grading for an ancient coin?
For me, it's important. There's a new market developing in graded ancients since it's a fairly new part of the ancient coin market. And for us, it's really helped transition either foreign coin buyers or US coin buyers into buying ancient coins because they're already familiar with the grading. And to know that you're getting something that's genuine and it's problem-free, there's no comments on it where scratched, repaired, improper cleaning, things like that. And if you're learning about a new series of coins that you're unfamiliar with, for us the grading's important. It's helped gain the confidence of a lot of collectors.
I have a especially cool coin. We have this 1836 proof $half. They didn't make a lot of proofs. In 1836, the $half, they only made about 20 of the proofs of the 2 different varieties. Of this one, there's only 6 known, this being one of the finest. It is a very popular series, and this being a proof example is exquisite and extremely rare.
Why did they not make that many proofs
Well,
back then?
the mint didn't start making proof sets for general circulation until, I believe, 1856. Anything previous to that was either as a presentation piece or on request from the mint. So almost everything in proof previous to 1856 is very rare.
And what kind of value on this one?
We have this coin listed at $69,500.
Yeah, I've got a pretty cool coin here. This is a George V 1935 crown struck in gold. This is normally a coin that's struck in silver for his silver jubilee. He'd been on the throne for 25 years at that point in time, but they actually struck some very special pieces in gold, and they only were going to release 25 gold coins to the public. They had to pay for them, obviously, but they had, I think it was 1,329 applications for the 25 gold coins. and therefore they had to do a special ballot to select who was going to be the 25 people to actually receive one. The nice thing is with this coin, we've actually got the original letter that was received. We've got 2 original letters received from the mint to a Mr. G. Beale, who was the recipient, the lucky recipient who actually bought this coin originally in 1935. And a whole list of all the names and addresses of all the people that were successful were also supplied to him at the time. We've got all that documentation that goes with this coin, so it's a great coin. This one's been slabbed, as you can see, perhaps. It's been slabbed as a Proof 63 Cameo by NGC, and it's currently for sale with us at Sovereign Rarities for £95,000.
We have several things. I can give you a few examples from each of our genres. This is a medal from the middle of the 15th century by the Italian artist Matteo de Pasti. It was commissioned by the Malatestas of Rimini. This is the Isotta degli Atti, who was the wife of Sigismund Malatesta. You can see the Malatesta elephant on the back. A very wonderful, very early, near contemporary cast, about as fresh as the day they came out. You could observe the range of detail. You could study this for hours. The elephant is on a field of flowers. This has a deeply symbolic meaning. The elephant was an emblem of fame. It also became an element of purity and chastity. Many, many levels of meaning in a piece like this. Very beautiful woman, very beautiful piece.
Why did they strike it?
This is not a struck medal, this is a cast medal. These would be done for several purposes. For propaganda, they were also used as what were called foundation medals. They put them in the foundations of buildings as a way of commemorating the construction, and they would circulate very generally.
Kind of value?
This particular piece is $9,500.
The Barber Collectors Club, we do a display for the club at the show, and the most popular item in this display all across the country and at the show is what we call the blob. This is a grouping of coins that were melted together from the San Francisco earthquake and fire in 1906. There's 2 Morgan dollars and 5 Barber half dollars, all melted together.
So how did this piece, was it saved?
After the fire, they sent treasury agents to reclaim the melted silver out in San Francisco. This one came to an agent, and they could tell exactly what it was. They paid out new silver, and the agent liked it so much he bought it from the Treasury Department and kept it in the family for 90 years. They donated it to us so we could show it around the country, and it's the most popular item that we have in our eclectic collection.
Well, how much was that worth in 1906 during the earthquake?
$3.50.
And what is it worth today, you figure?
Priceless. We've had offers where they just name your price, and they open the checkbook, and we said no.
Yes, I have 2 1737 Higley copper coins that I just purchased. These are among the rarest of the colonial issues. They were made by Dr. Higley in Connecticut in the 1730s. And the coins are made out of pure copper, which is kind of unusual. They're very rare today. There's probably about 40 or 50 that have survived to the present. And these are really legendary coins. Very few collectors have even seen one of these. The conditions of all of them are pretty low, but I was thrilled to buy 2 of them here at the convention. I've never owned 2 of them in my life in over 60 years of being in business. And over the years, I think I've owned maybe 2 at different times, but they're extremely rare coins. And the interesting thing about them is he didn't put a denomination on them. He said, "Value me as you please." And on the reverse, it says, "I am good copper."
How were they used?
They were used as a value of 3 pence usually, but when he got in trouble with the authorities, he said, "Okay, I won't put 3 pence anymore. I'll just put value me as you please." So he got out of trouble that way.
And what kind of value for these guys?
These are approximately $30,000 to $50,000 per coin. And the opportunity to find them is extremely rare. I may go 5 or 10 years without seeing another one.
I have here in PCGS holder a 1922 plain or no D penny. There are 3 dies for this issue. Only one of them is recognized as the very best, and that's the one that has a strong reverse, which this has. This coin is in fine condition, which is a medium quality grade, but very desirable, and collectors like this coin more than any other in the Lincoln Cent series, except maybe for the 09 SVDB. So the dies were lapped, and on 1 out of the 3 dies, it erased the D totally. So on the holder it says no D, often referred to as a 22 plain.
And what is a regular 22D worth?
Well, I have a want list for XFs, and I bought 10 pieces here for $30 each.
And this one is worth?
This wholesales at $450, retails at $525.
Wow.